So, Alan, can you tell me a bit about who you are and what it is that you do?
I'm Alan Moffat. I am the clerk and practice manager of Ampersand, which is one of the stables at the Faculty of Advocates. We have 48 advocates, including 19 seniors, and we cover mainly civil law in the areas of commercial, public planning and reparation law.
Tell me, for those who don't know, what do advocates, clerks or stable managers do?
Well, a clerk would principally really advise counsel and help the management of council's practices in terms of diary management, fees, advice, and really the administrative backup that they need, not really in a secretarial capacity but more of an advising role. That's principally the duties, I would say. And
do you have a background in law at all, or would a background in law help?
I think a background in law helps. I used to work at Legal Aid Board for my sins before coming here, and I've worked as a deputy clerk for 7 years before I became principal clerk in 2007. I'd done paralegals in criminal law and one just after I started here in civil court practice, and recently just finished a law degree, but all of which I think do help your understanding of how things fit in law generally.
And what is it that attracted you to the role or becoming an advocate's clerk in the first place?
Initially it was one-off. I saw the advert when I was looking to become a deputy clerk, and I thought it sounded like a really interesting position. I knew a lot of it about advocates from my time at the Legal Aid Board and the work they did, and when I looked into it more, I liked the sound of it and the opportunities, and so I applied, was successful, and worked for 7 years as a deputy to Christine Ferguson in what was the Ferguson stable at the time, and when the opportunity to become the principal clerk came up, I felt I was equipped to take that forward.
And in recent times, the rules governing advocates and stables, the rules within which they operate and how they market themselves has changed. Has that resulted in changes to your own role?
It has. In 2007, stables were allowed more control over how they operate as a stable. It was called Devolution from Faculty Services, who is the administrative company behind the Faculty of Advocates, and that really allowed us to do more engaging with the profession in terms of communication, marketing, and also the way stables were set up in terms of their membership and specialising in areas of law. So for instance, the Ferguson stable was very much a mixed stable, albeit civil based, and in more recent times some stables have decided to specialise in certain areas of law. Ampersand has to a degree, but we are still a general civil law stable. But we now practice under the banner of 4 main areas of law, but principally the stable is about good advocacy and providing a good service to customers, agents and ultimately the clients.
And what about your own role? How has that changed as a result of the changes?
The role, I would now see it more as a dual role, one of a clerk providing the advice to agents and counsel in terms of who to instruct, fees, that manner of things. And now the role is also one of engaging with the profession more in terms of business development, relationship development. We now do seminars, for instance, to the profession. We now have our websites that we keep up to date. We do Twitter, for instance, which is another communication channel. And so we've the role is now very much a dual role compared to what it was, say, even 5 years ago.
And to sum up, what are the most challenging aspects of being an advocate's clerk or being involved in stable management?
The most challenging aspects of being a clerk nowadays are still the principal duties of advising agents on who they should instruct or could instruct, and also advising members in relation to conflicts in their diaries, fee aspects, making sure that the fee is appropriate for the work done, and really just managing in quite a busy environment in terms of urgent cases that come in the door, plus also all the other cases are kind of ticking along in the background, and really just kind of getting a feel for the way things should go forward in a case, and really listening to people and helping out in any aspect really that we're asked for.
And to find out more about Ampersand?
Website www.ampersandstable.com.